there's something happening to our faces. More and more women are getting fillers, tweaking lips, lifting cheeks, until we all kind of start to blur together. It's giving IKEA face. Just have filler, but here's the wild part. This look, it isn't just a trend. It might be permanently changing your face in ways no one talks about. And I'm not here to judge. I've thought about it too. But I started wondering, why do we all want to look like the same person? And what happens if we stop? I've always been intrigued by fillers. I've thought about it, seriously, but I've never done it. Partly because I'm terrified of letting a rogue nail tech inject mystery gel into my face. And partly because I keep wondering, why do so many people now look not bad, just kind of the same? You know what I mean. The moment someone posts a selfie and you're like, is that them? A filter? A filler? All three? Tell me I'm not the only one who's noticed this. Drop a comment if you've ever paused mid-scroll and thought, wait, did I just see this face 5 times already? So how did we get here? To a world where everyone's starting to look like the same face on repeat. Let's rewind. Back in the 80s, if you wanted to plump your face, you had to inject cow collagen. Yeah, literal bovine goo. It barely lasted, came with allergy risks, and was mostly for the rich and wrinkled. Then, in the early 2000s, things got an upgrade. Scientists developed stabilized hyaluronic acid. It's the sugar that your body already makes. It was smoother, safer, and allegedly temporary. That changed everything. You can now tweak your face with less risk, less stigma, and if you didn't like it, well, supposedly, you could just get it dissolved. It felt casual, like Klarna for your face. A little cheek filler today, a touch-up of the lip tomorrow. Why not? But that's when two things collided. Filters and fillers. Suddenly, the Facetune edit wasn't just digital. It was injected in real life for 250 quid in 20 minutes. And it worked because we started seeing those edited proportions. The lips, the cheeks, the snatched jaw, everywhere. It got more likes, more follows, more bookings. And our brains learn fast. This face performs. We weren't just fixing wrinkles. We were replicating a look, a format, a face that didn't belong to anyone, but somehow ended up on everyone. You used to have a face. Now you have an aesthetic. And somewhere along the way, we all became live-action Bratz dolls. Cute, sculpted, and slightly unsettling. So let's be real. We're not just chasing beauty anymore. We're chasing performance. Because the more plumped, filtered, and lifted your face is, the more approval it seems to get. It's not just pretty, it's algorithmically optimized. Likes, engagement, DMs, and your brain learns fast. This version of me performs better. We see it every day. Those same lips, cheeks, brows, amplified, edited, rewarded. And somewhere along the way, filler became the real-life version of the filter. The thing is, it isn't just a vibe. It's documented. A 2024 study from Boston University found that the more time that people spend on filter-heavy platforms like Instagram and Snapchat, the more likely they are to want cosmetic procedures. And it's not just a little tweak. We're talking cheeks, jaws, noses, all reshaped to match what we've been staring at online. What started as maybe a little bit in my lips became recreate my filtered face. Doctors are seeing it too. Surgeons report more patients coming in saying, I want to look like this version of me, the one with the Facetune on. Even celebrities have normalized it. When Kylie Jenner at 17 admitted to lip filler, it took the taboo out of injectables for an entire generation. Now, getting filler is as casual as contouring. Scroll your feed and you'll see it offered like a smoothie upgrade. Cheeks? Check. Jawline? Check. Emotional stability? Still pending. It's not just that filler is everywhere. It's that looking like you've had filler is the new natural. So now, the new clean girl look is the new trend. The new base face is having filler. And this is where it gets a little weird. We were told that fillers were temporary. They dissolve, they said. Fade after 6 months. No big deal, right? But that's not really the full story. because doctors are now finding filler in people's faces 5, 7, even 10 years after their last injection. Still there, still squatting under the skin rent-free. See, here's what's actually happening. Most fillers today are made of hyaluronic acid, something that your body naturally produces, so it sounds harmless. But modern fillers are chemically cross-linked to last longer, so they don't just melt away like a sugar cube. They degrade slowly, or not at all. Imaging studies like MRIs and ultrasounds have found intact filler years later, especially in areas with poor blood flow, like under the eyes or in deep cheek pockets. In some cases, filler that migrated from one spot to another was mistaken for puffiness or aging, when it was actually old filler that never left. Even dermatologists were surprised, some saying that they used ultrasound on new patients and found remnants of filler from years ago that they didn't even remember getting. So yeah, it turns out dissolvable doesn't mean it's gone. It means good luck. Some of it will fade, but some of it stays. It could move or it could build up, like a low-grade ghost of your cosmetic past. And that means if you've been topping up for years, the chances are you're not just adding fresh filler. You're layering new filler on top of old filler that never fully left. Which then got me thinking, if hyaluronic acid isn't toxic, then what's the problem with it sticking around? Wouldn't that just mean that you're getting more for your money? So I went deeper, and here's what I found. The accumulation gives puffiness and distortion. Even if each treatment looks subtle on its own, layering over residual filler can lead to volume overload. Over time, this can make the face look unnaturally full, heavy, or pillowy. Features lose definition. You get that overfilled look where the skin appears swollen or doughy. Then there's filler migration. Old filler doesn't always stay where it's injected. It can migrate to nearby areas, especially under eyes, around the mouth, or in the lips. New filler added on top can push the existing filler, which compounds the problem. The result is lumps, asymmetry, or strange puffy shadows. There's also your tissue stress and skin stretching. Adding more volume repeatedly can stretch the skin and soft tissue over time, especially in delicate areas like lips or under eyes. When filler is eventually dissolved or metabolized, the skin can appear more crepey, saggy, or hollow than it did before you started. This contributes to filler fatigue, where you need ongoing filler just to look normal. It's also difficult to dissolve cleanly. If filler is layered and migrated, it becomes harder to remove. Dissolving enzymes may break down natural tissue along with the filler. This makes corrections risky, especially if you've had multiple brands, depths, or types over the years. Fillers aren't one and done. They're a membership program. You get the lips and suddenly your cheeks feel flat. Get the cheeks done, now the jawline looks soft. Fix the jaw, you might as well lift the chin. It's like cosmetic dominoes. One tweak leads to another and another until you finally built the subscription face. Doctors even have a name for this. Filler fatigue. It's when people keep topping up year after year, not realizing that they're slowly overfilling their face. At first, it looks refreshed, then puffier, heavier, distorted, like someone face-tuned your head in real life, but forgot to stop at version 2.0. And the kicker, you don't always notice it happening. As Courtney Cox put it, you don't realize you look a little off because you look normal to yourself. That's the trick of it. You're looking at your face every day. You don't see it shift until one day you do. And by then, you're 5 syringes deep and wondering, how do I just get back to me? But I can't stop thinking that we used to celebrate a glow up and now we're chasing a template. And the thing is, I don't think beauty lives in sameness. I think it lives in uniqueness. The top supermodels, the faces you remember, they're the ones with the sharp noses, wide-set eyes, asymmetrical smiles. They didn't follow a face formula. They broke it, and that's what made them iconic. But now, the more I scroll, the more I see this one face over and over. Different girls, same cheeks, same lips, same jaw. It's like we're all slowly morphing into our filtered selves, cosplaying as Kim Kardashian at different budget levels. And I get it, the pressure is real. But what if beauty isn't about fixing your face to fit the trend, but about owning the things that make you different? Because honestly, the most magnetic people I've ever seen didn't look perfect. They look real, and real doesn't have a preset. And we need to pause because this isn't just a beauty treatment. It's still a medical procedure, not a highlighter pen, not a brow tint, a needle injecting foreign material into your face. And while fillers are generally safe in qualified hands, in the US, injectors are usually licensed medical professionals. But in the UK, anyone can legally inject filler into your face. And this is how you end up with the rogue beauticians buying filler online and injecting it out of a back room. It's legal and it's happening. And the risks, they're rare but real. Filler accidentally injected into a blood vessel can block circulation, causing skin death or even blindness. There are hundreds of reported cases of filler-induced vision loss, and in over 2/3 of them, the blindness was permanent. You've also got risks of infection, not just right away, but months or years later. One study found a bacterial infection flaring up 2.5 years after the filler was injected because the bacteria had quietly colonized in the gel. So, yeah, just because it's marketed as a quick beauty fix doesn't mean it's risk-free. Know who's injecting you. Ask for credentials. Because this isn't like getting your nails done. It's your face. And there are no refunds. But let's just zoom out for a second. Because this isn't really about filler, is it? It's about why we're doing it. Some people get filler and feel amazing. More confident, more themselves, more seen. And I love that. I genuinely do. But for others, it doesn't start with empowerment. It starts with pressure. Pressure to fix something that wasn't broken, to look more like a filter, to keep up with friends or influencers, or just not fall behind. And the hardest part, once you start, it's very hard to stop. Because when the filler fades, you're not always left with your old face. Sometimes you're left with skin that's stretched, thinner, more crepey, or hollow where volume once used to be. Filler fatigue is the kind of beauty burnout where you keep topping up just to look normal. Like your face is on auto-subscribe. You're not chasing confidence anymore. You're maintaining an illusion. And you're terrified of what's underneath. But here's my take. Real confidence isn't looking like everyone else. It's recognizing that the things that you think that you need to fix might actually be the exact things that make you beautiful. Because conformity will age you too, just in a different way.